Hello everybody and welcome back to Tlatoani, where last episode we got a significant portion of our food production online, and we're doing much better in terms of our finances, so we've been working on our noble/temple district out over here. And I've been thinking about what to put into these areas. To be honest, gardens, and are there like fountains in this game? We could do like stelas and memorials. So that would be interesting, actually. We could do like a memorial in these center points, almost. Do we want to do that, though? And of course, there's a House of Song here, but we're not going to do that for now. So there's the large gardens. Indeed. I want these to be decorative locations. So that's what we're going to do. I'm just looking at sizes of things right now. So what I'm thinking is, if we did something like this, and did that in all four of them, then what we would be able to do is we could put in a gardener, like somewhere over this way. I don't really want it over here, but it kind of has to be. We could put one here and here. That's an option. And then we can do memorials. One here and one here, I'm thinking. Hang on, something's wrong here, isn't it? No, this is right. This is right. Then we can do a large garden in these locations, like that. And then these can just be small gardens right here. Actually, we can put in additional large gardens here and here, here and here. Like that. If only we had, like, fountains. This would be a good place for fountains. But alas, we do not. So we're going to do something like that. This is not able to go in up here. This is at 30 of 30, and this is at 30 of 30. So we actually need a little bit more garden capacity up over here. We can put in a gardener about here. I don't love that position. We may move it later. But for now, something like that. Okay, so I don't want to actually build all of this right now. I'm going to halt all of that, but it's definitely an interesting plan. So this is a temple up over here, and we were talking about an additional temple down here. Now, which gods are currently upset? Okay. Noted. So Quetzalcoatl would be a decent option here. So we could do something like this. This requires a scenic neighborhood. Well, that's definitely going to be a scenic neighborhood, but it isn't one yet. Okay. Well, let's just pause all of this for now. And then out over this direction, we could do more decoration right here on the two flanks of the royal palace. That's an option. For now, I think I'm going to allow construction of all of this. Hang on. We've got some issues going on here. That's why. There's a lot of noble places here. And this one's actually already started. Okay, let's remove that. This is going to be problematic. This is what happens, apparently, when you use the move tool on a blueprint. So that's definitely good to know. We'll need to just wait for that to be removed. But that's fine. It'll get done soon enough, and we'll just put in the noble compound there. So there is some space out over here. And this is definitely, you know, not exactly even, but it's the best we can do. So we can definitely get some additional gardens over this way, but this is going to be out of range of this gardener up here, which tells me that we should probably actually remove... I didn't mean to remove that memorial. We can put the memorial back here, and then we can put this garden here, where that's going to go to this gardener. So that should be absolutely fine for now, and then we can put all of that back in and tell it to halt. At least a memorial. I'm actually kind of fine with it doing the gardens here, but maybe don't do the memorial or the stelas just yet. So something kind of like this. Yeah, getting the gardens built is fine, I think. What do those cost? It's a little bit of stone. Okay. Cool. So something along the lines of that for now. And we can actually allow the road out over here. Is that not? Okay, it is Y. I was hitting Y and it wasn't actually doing anything. That was odd. So we'll get that all enabled. That looks good for now. So it's going to be a while before we get this all built up over here. No doubt about that. And that's deeply, deeply unsurprising. So what I want to do next is I want to take a road, a stone road, out over this direction. So that's going to be 2 tiles around this thing, like this. Although on this side, it's only 1 tile, so maybe we should bring this back and have it be only 1 tile of spacing here. So this has got 2, but this is 1 and 1. And with the isometric perspective, maybe that'll be okay. We'll see. I don't like how everything is uneven out over here. And that's because everything is even sized, right? If we look at this, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So an even number, and that makes it impossible for us to center things on that. Very sad. Very sad indeed. But alas, we'll get this structure worked on. And up over this direction, I'm wondering how we're doing on getting all of this going. Well, it definitely needs work. We're short of common workers, and we're short of elite workers, and none of that is particularly surprising. So up over this direction, we had already determined that we did not need a shrine to Tlaloc because the Great Temple will cover that. So that's absolutely wonderful. And if we wanted to put another temple in out over here, we'll have to wait a little bit until some of this gets constructed. Interesting. There are people coming from back over here. I'm going to put a dirt road out over this direction as far out as the game will let us go. That's actually perfect. And we're just going to do something like that to connect up over there. Okay, so that seems reasonably fine for now. I want to check in on our granary. That's a lot of maize in our granary. That's a good sign. So that means that we are definitely doing well on that front. We are going to want to have like a large market out over here. I'll put that there. And then for symmetry out over this direction, because we actually kind of care about how this district looks. So for symmetry out over here, I'm currently thinking that we would want another 3x3 building that goes right here. And a good option for that, I think, is that House of Song. Yeah, that'll be absolutely fine. We'll get that in there. Beautiful. This is going to take a while to get this all built, and that's not surprising in the slightest. It's still not telling us what we need to get this great temple made, but we know we're going to need some gold artwork, so we may want to get a workshop for that going. The jeweler here, right? Is that right? No, it's a goldsmith. So we can put in a goldsmith here, 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 and here, like that. And then roads going around it like this. We can't actually connect it here because of the cliff, but that'll be fine. We may need some more housing in this area as well to help with that. So I'm going to put in some houses just like that. Okay, we would definitely like to be exporting additional cotton. And with these additional cotton farms coming online, I think we're going to have more than enough cotton buds coming in. So I would like to have some additional cotton weavers. We can squeeze one in down here. One can go here and here, and then we can have a road like this. And then we can do a cotton weaver up over this direction in a kind of awkward spot. Or we could tuck it back over here. We'd have to run some road to it, like that. Or actually, like that. But I guess that's fine for now. That'll do. Do these out over here have market access? Yeah, they will. That'll be fine. Excellent. So that looks good. I would love it if this noble compound would get removed. We'll see if it actually happens. Okay, so our prestige is not up very high, but our prestige and culture is going to go up a lot when we get all of this finished. So that seems good. We're definitely going to have another temple here. And then we'll see what other temples we want to add to this complex. Those would probably go back this direction, most likely. And then have this come out like so, and yeah, something along those lines. I think this would be about the right size. So that seems fine for now. We'll get all of this online. Once we get these goldsmiths done, they'll start producing some gold art, which we're going to need. And can we export gold art? No, we can't. I'm only going to have 2 goldsmiths then. We're going to take these 2 out, and I'm going to replace those probably with jewelers. They're going to need feathers. Let's see, what do they... Null in the output, huh? Okay. So let's put in a jeweler or 2 here, and let's see what they actually take in. So feathers, jade, and they output jewelry. Okay. We're going to go with cloth weavers instead. We want more export goods. So cotton weavers here, not cloth weavers, cotton weavers. More export goods. So these goldsmiths exist exclusively to feed these construction projects. We are definitely going to want to have a mason up over here. I'm thinking maybe nestling one here and here wouldn't be bad. So if we did that, it'd be like this. And those would be responsible for maintaining this area. So that seems okay. We're going to need some services up here, and that's all absolutely understood. We'll need well dippers. Those are probably going to fit into this block here. Well dippers, we're going to need... we're going to need security up here. That's all fine. That is all absolutely fine. Now, this currently looks very offset, this road, but it'll look more balanced once this wing out over here gets put in. I would have built hunters for gathering feathers out over this direction, but I don't want to import jade, so it's fine. I'm sure that we'll get this fire taken care of pretty soon. This is a furnisher here, and that's understood. These guys are animating very nicely. Excellent. So we can see that our farms are coming more online. That's good. And we do need to get more people down over here for sure. So clay is still a bit of a shortage for us, but massively increasing our cotton weavers here, and that's going to be a very big deal. So we're going to be able to export just crazy amounts of cotton. We may also want to get more kilns going, but for the moment, we're still struggling a bit with our clay situation. We do have these 2 clay pits up here that are not online yet, so that's absolutely understood. It's going to take a little bit of time. That seems okay. So this collector doesn't reach down over here. So collectors are going to need to be a service as well. We're going to need a library somewhere down here. And we can see that this is not really going to fit into this block. So we could maybe put the libraries... Actually, these squeeze in nicely right here. We could do a library there. And what is this? A Kalamak. Higher education for the sons of nobles and, on occasion, other promising youths. Okay. It needs symmetry. Okay. I think we're going to come back to that. So we put a library here. We can put a collector here, but that's on the smaller side. We could put another library in, but I think I would rather put a sauna here. Something like that. Okay. We don't have very many people up here working on this stuff. It's going to take some time. They're mostly working on building this great temple, and that's absolutely fine. So we'll get started on all of this in the eventual times. But for now, down over this direction, our industrial area and our agricultural area are both doing fairly well at this point. We still need some digging on some of these cotton fields, but our cotton fields are going to be pretty online pretty soon, and we still haven't managed to move these sawyers. So there's that. Eventually it'll happen, right? Hopefully. They're just not very interested. Oh, they are really wanting to connect in over here. I guess that's fine. I don't have a problem with that. We can put a road in there. They don't want to go this direction and take this road. There's no connection over here anyway, since we're waiting on these sawyers to be moved. Hopefully that happens eventually. We're also still waiting on this noble compound to be removed, but there's really not very many people up here working on stuff. There's a one porter yard. They've got two porters over here, and I think this is a mason. This is a porter up here. Okay. So we're definitely working on it, but it's going to take some time. As far as all this goes out over here, I do think that we can get additional stone road out like this. So that'll just go in kind of like that. And then this would go out here. And this would all be stone road here. So that's okay. And we then would need to put in a temple out over here. But we can't do that until these gardens go in. So that's absolutely fine. We'll let that be worked on. And I don't actually know how big this needs to be. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Okay. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. And then this one. Like that. This should be the right size, in theory. And then we can do this stone road out like this, and then this stone road would go back to here, and would come up like that. And that would be largely the extent of this, like, built-up noble area. We can extend this stone road out over this way, and then we can use, like, residential walls to make this a little bit fancier. Maybe something along those lines. So if we were to go into... Is this under beauty? Where were the residential walls at? Not regular walls, just residential ones. Here we go. So the residential gate is a bit of a problem. We could, I suppose, have 2 of them here. So that would end up being something like that. And then the residential wall would go out over here. And how far away is that? That is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So that would end up going like that. And that would just wall off this district like this. We'd have a residential gate out over here. This is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So that's actually perfect. It would go in like that. And then the residential wall would just stretch over to here. And then we'd go up this way, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So it would be like this. Okay. And then this would get extended out to be here. And would be something kind of like that. Then we can run these stone roads directly out to the edge. So that'll end up being like this. I don't want to actually go through this, at least not yet. Perhaps eventually, but right now I'm just running them right up to the wall. Like that. Cool. So these are not, you know, perfectly even blocks, but I don't think they have to be. This is especially not perfectly even here. It's very unfortunate, because you can see this is actually 2 off here. Really? 2 off. That's interesting. I was expecting it to be 1 off. That means that this road should actually be here. But it's 1 off back here. Hang on. Yeah, it's 1 off back here. So what have we got going on here? Ah, okay. Yep. Gotcha. So this should actually be up over here like this. These should be removed. Like that. And then this should be a residential wall again. Awkward. But it's fine. So that, of course, means that this gardener is going to need to be moved. So let's just move this gardener for now right off over to here. And we can put another gardener on this side right here, and that'll be fine. I'm actually going to cancel these 2 gardeners, and we'll have a gardener here, and we'll have a gardener down over here. I'm wondering if we're going to have to replace these crops right now. We might. Or replace the gardens, rather. We might have to do that. But that would be fine if we did. So let's put a gardener down over here then. That came up as 30 of 30 plots. Okay, let's just delete this gardener then, and we'll put in a gardener here that also comes up as 30 out of 30 plots. And we know that we did need 1 additional gardener. Yeah. So we can put that actually right here. And on this side, that would end up going right here, like that. Okay, so that seems fine. Eventually we'll get that completed, but that's a long, long ways in the future. So that's absolutely understood. It's going to take some time. City mood is currently average, and to that end, we're doing a lot better financially now, and I want to increase the wages. In fact, let's max out the wages. We're probably fine with doing that. And as far as the taxes go, we are probably okay with setting the taxes not at 0, but I'm going to put it at 5%. That should boost up the city mood substantially. And hopefully boost our prosperity a little bit. That would be nice. Okay, so we've got a lot of work going on over here. That's gonna take a long, long time. And yes, it's a little off-center. It's fine. Everything's gonna be a little off-center. It's just an off-center sort of city, right? Definitely. That's definitely how this works. Yeah, I'm just looking at this and I'm thinking, something isn't quite right here. And I want to count this. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So this is correct here. Okay. I think it doesn't feel very centered because of the perspective. Yeah, so see, if you rotate this around, this now feels far shorter than this does. It's just the perspective that's throwing me off here. Okay, so that's absolutely fine. It's centered-ish. We'll call it centered-ish. So that's okay for now. We can have some additional residential right out here that'll be people who are going to be working in the nobles' quarters, but aren't directly living in the nobles' quarters. The only ones who are living in the nobles' quarters are going to be these ones down over here, which is the servants of the nobles. So that sounds absolutely fine. And all of this will get finished up eventually, but it will take a lot of stone to get all of this built. That's for sure. We're going to be importing ludicrous sums of stone. So up over this way, we can see we need clay for a lot of these buildings, and this one needs artwork. That's fine. So this also is going to need artwork. Yeah, that's okay. Cotton weaver here needing clay. This one needs cotton buds. It can get cotton buds from here, I think. No, it can't. So let's have this be getting cotton buds. Where are these guys getting their cotton buds from? Is it from down here? It's down here. Okay. So yeah, this is fine to have this be getting cotton buds. We've got lots of storage space here, so I'm deeply, deeply unconcerned about that one. So we'll get that done, and we'll get some cotton buds delivered down over this direction eventually. My question is, how many cotton buds do we have right now compared to how many cotton buds are we using? So if we go down to cotton buds, we can see our balance is plus 75 for the year right now. That's not bad. And we're going to get more cotton bud production up over here, in theory. Yeah, we definitely are still going to get more cotton bud production up here. There's still a lot of canals that need to be made up here. Oh! What happened to these clay pits? That's interesting. Perhaps they burned down, but we've got a well dipper here. Perhaps they were damaged by the floods, but the small cottage is actually damaged. Yeah, I think they were damaged by the floods. That's interesting. So if that's the case, this mason yard needs more people in it, for sure. And that would mean that we would need to build a common home right here. And we should absolutely build more clay pits up over this way. What this means is we just need more maintenance out in this area. Not that this is unbuildable. This means that we need more maintenance out here. So I'm going to rebuild these clay pits, and we'll get those back in there eventually. I'm guessing this is because it was right on the border here. But we need this mason yard to start actually doing repairs. So that's understood. We also have a mason yard down over this direction, I believe, somewhere. There's one way out over here. Okay. We could put in more mason yards here, and that's probably a good idea. So let's go ahead and do that. Let's go into engineering mason yard, and that's going to go here, and that's going to go here. But that terrain is blocked. By what? Oh, the road. Okay, I'm dumb. Okay, that's going to go in there and there, and that will help repair some of this out over here. Clearly, we need more masons out repairing this stuff. So that's understood. Okay, so that's fine. It is time to put a cut in here, so I'm going to go ahead and do that, and next episode, we will see about handling this situation. It clearly needs work. You can leave your offerings to the engagement gods in the form of likes, comments, subscribes, and bell ringings, and a very special thank you to all of the channel members for making this video possible, including ALS Gamer, Dark Horse, Ethan Feldman, Aurelio, Upper Cumberland Gamers, Nick Smarty, Dimitri H, Punching the Microphone, The Lounge STL, and all the rest. And of course, you. Thank you for watching. If you'd like to support the channel, you can click the join button down below the video, and as always, I will see you all next time.